Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is Chapter 17 of Shattered Image, and this one is titled Rescue Mission Part 1. As you expected, Ida took it upon himself to be the spokesperson and plan coordinator of the mission, and started to try and get everyone on board with his plan of attack for the rescue, but the explosive blonde that you had attacked on day one of school just turned and started walking off. "Bakugo!" Ida called sternly after him. "We must come up with a rescue plan as a class." "Make your own damn rescue plan, Four Eyes," Bakugo barked back. And you know what? That was the turning point for you. This Bakugo guy might just be okay. He spoke your thoughts out loud and you couldn't have agreed more with him, and so snorted with amusement. Sero heard you and looked at you to work out what had made you laugh, but then Ida called the group's attention again to try and get everyone else on board. Kirishima had run after Bakugo by that point, so he had left the group and some of the girls had splintered off too, leaving Ida scrambling to get attention and to work out how to attack this rescue mission. "Well, this mission is really fnucked, isn't it?" you said as you turned to Sero. "What are you going to do?" Sero replied with a scratch to the back of his head as he thought for a second. I guess I've got a good quirk for this. I can swing across and grab the dummies from the river and then carry them out the other side." "Yeah, but what about the electrified ones?" you asked. That's the only thing I'm worried about," he said sheepishly. "Well," you said, crossing your arms with annoyance, "my stupid quirk is even more stupid now because I can't use it at all, but I don't care about getting zapped, so how about we team up?" "Yeah, okay. What do you suggest?" Sero asked. I guess if you hold me, I'll grab the dummies from the water," you offered. Just then Momo ran up to you and Sero. "Sero, Yin, I've made some insulating gloves to use for the rescue," she said as she handed you both the gloves. "Put them on, they'll stop you from getting shocked." "Oh, thank you," Sero said as he took the pair of gloves and then handed one pair to you. You took the gloves from him while eyeing Momo as she ran back to the other girls and then turned to Sero, who was putting his gloves on. He was so focused on getting them on that he didn't notice you stalling at first. "Why did she make these for us?" you asked, almost with disdain as you looked down at them in hand, and he looked up at you. "So we don't get shocked?" he replied questioningly. "Yeah, but why? Why does she care what happens to us?" you asked him. "What's in it for her?" "Can you just put them on, please? We need to get this mission started," he said, gesturing for you to put them on. "You guys are all so weird," you whispered as you put the gloves on. "Okay, now what?" you asked him. I don't know," he replied. "Bro, you rushed me to put the gloves on and then tell me you don't know what we're doing," you deadpanned. "Sero, Yin," Momo called, waving her hand in the air to get your attention. "We need more manpower for the mission. Do you need a group to join?" "Oh, I see," you said out loud. "She needed us, that's why she gave us the gloves." "Listen, this isn't about you, or trying to win you over, or whatever else you're thinking. There is no ulterior motive here. This is about a class mission, and we have to work together to get it completed," Sero said in a fairly stern voice. And it was the first time that you felt like he was mildly exasperated with you. "Ew," you replied shortly. "Yin, just come on," he says. He grabbed your hand and started walking towards where Momo and the other girls were standing. "Let me go or I'll quirk you," you threatened him, feeling like you were being pulled into something you didn't want to be pulled into, but also feeling like you weren't going to be much help anyway, and feeling the panic of that keenly too. "Do it, I don't care," he said as he kept marching on. "All it's going to do is slow us all down, and Izara is going to get pissed." I hate that he's right about that," you thought with a scowl as you let him pull you along. "What's the plan?" Sero asked as he got up to Momo, still with a death grip on your hand so you couldn't run away. "We're thinking of making some kind of bridge across the water and spacing out along it so we can grab the dummies and help pull them to safety. We just need people power," she said. "I'm also not sure if I have the reserves to make a full-size bridge across the river," she added sheepishly. "Do you think you can make a tape bridge? Or maybe we could make something with our quirks combined?" "Yeah, I think I can," Sero replied. "Wait, where are the others?" "I don't know, but we don't have much time, so let's just work with our group that we have here," Momo said. "What's your quirk?" you asked her out of the blue, having been listening into the conversation and becoming curious as to what she could do. "Oh, I make items from my body stores," she said. "I made the gloves from my quirk." "You could have made the bridge then if you didn't make the gloves," you said. "Why make the gloves first? You should have just made a pair for yourself." "But I want to make sure no one gets hurt," Momo said with a quizzical look at you. "Your safety is my first priority." You were unfamiliar with the concept of looking out for others, really. Sero and Ida had so far been the only two to show you that they looked out for others, but it appeared that most of this class were tarred, if you will, with the same brush. This gave you something to think about, so you didn't really hear the rest of the conversation then, and you just let the others do the planning. As far as you felt useful for, it was to only pull the dummies to safety. Your quirk wasn't needed here. Suddenly a loud buzzer sounded and you jumped. It startled you, but you also knew it was the starting bell to alert you to the beginning of the mission. It just caught you off guard, that's all. "There's no more time. We need to move now," Momo said, commanding the rest of your small group to make for the side of the cliff that led down to the river. It was only then that Sero let your hand go. "Okay, stay back. I'll lay some tape down so we can abseil down the side of the ravine. I'll go first and find a ledge. Then from there, we can look at making a bridge across," he said as he bent both arms at the elbows and then shot tape out of both of them, the long streams shooting out and over the side of the ravine and making their way down. Sero then looked around for somewhere to tie the ends to and saw a billiard that was a little way back from the edge and walked backwards to wrap his tape around it before detaching it. "Okay, that should hold. Wait here a second," he said before grabbing one of the tapes and jumping over the edge of the cliff, sliding on his feet down the side of the dirt and shale and landing on a rock that was sticking out a little way below. Without realising it, you had run to the edge to check and make sure he was okay, so you saw the whole thing and marvelled quietly at how cool and effortless he looked when he was in work mode. "Okay," Sero called once he landed. "Use the tape to come down." Before you could get there, though, the other girls were all following suit, and you watched them all calmly and expertly lower themselves down to him, and then it was your turn. You were much more unsure of yourself than them, and your feet slipped a few times, making you cranky at the fact that you didn't feel as confident or cool as they did. By the time you made it to the bottom of the ravine and joined them on the ledge, they had already started to construct a bridge across to the other side, with Momo creating half of it and Sero using tape to hold it up while she made the second half. "What a good team," you heard a pink-skinned girl say, her comment being directed at Sero and Momo making the bridge together. You didn't care to learn any of the names of anyone in the class and only knew a general handful, but you were determined to know this one's name so you could put her on the blacklist. How dare she say that Sero and Momo were a good team? No, they weren't. You and Sero made a good team. He just got you and you felt comfortable around him. Who is this Momo chick anyway? Just because she could make gloves? That didn't make her that good. Your face soured. Ooh, a little bit of jealousy and protectiveness there, possessiveness. Stay tuned for Chapter 18 coming tomorrow. I'll see you then.